All right, so we're going to go ahead and get up and running and get started with Vue.js first for our comparison project. Now, getting started with Vue.js and installing it is pretty straightforward, and like other JavaScript frameworks, you're able to install it through several different methods. All right, so the first is installing Vue.js with a CDN, which is a content delivery network. This allows you to use the HTML script tag to use Vue within your project, and it's a pretty quick and easy way of getting up and running. The recommended CDN to use is mentioned on the written version of this tutorial, which you can find in the description here on YouTube if you're watching at YouTube, or on Coursetro page where the course is located at. All right, so you can find the exact script source, equals here, as well as the written tutorial. We're not going to use this method though for this course, because we're going to be using Node.js and we can install it. So the other two options are installing Vue.js through NPM, which is the Node Package Manager, and you can install it through the command line. And this is ideal when you have a more robust project or an existing project that you wish to integrate Vue with, as Vue is really just relegated to the Vue. Now you must have Node.js installed along with NPM as well. So we're going to need to check this. So to check if you have it installed, if you're not sure, in the command line, you just type in node-v. And then also npm-v, and it should spit out version numbers. Now, if not, then you need to install it, and you have to go to nodejs.org right here, downloads, and choose either the Windows or Mac installer. Run through all the default options. By default, the Node Package Manager, NPM, will be included, and install it, and then simply reload or close down your console, your command line, and then go back and run these two commands, and they should be there. The command to simply run it after you have it installed, which we're not going to actually run it, but I wanted to show you, is npm install Vue, and then save it as in your package.json if you already have your project set up. Now, we're not going to use this method. The third method that we're going to use is installing Vue.js with the Vue command line interface, or CLI. And it makes it quick and easy just to start up a Vue project with basic scaffolding in place, and it provides you with several options that you can also use to set up routing and such. So this is the installation method that I mentioned that we're going to use for our project here. So to get started in the command line, head over to wherever you store your code projects at, and we're going to run npm install global and Vue-CLI. So the package is called Vue-CLI, and we're using the global flag to make sure that we only have to install this once on our machine. So it's going to run through. I'm going to pause it until it's finished. All right, so it's done here. And to access the CLI, all we have to do is just type in Vue. And if you hit enter, it'll give you commands and options. Now, there's not a lot here. So it's fairly straightforward just to get started. So to start a new project, we type in Vue init, and basically this is the command for generating a new project from a template. We're going to specify Webpack, which is a build tool for handling ad sets, and then the project name. So I'm going to name mine simply compare-vue, and that's the naming convention that we're going to use for React and Angular as well for the project names a little bit later on in this course. All right, so when you run this, it's going to give you a series of prompts, all right? So we can see in the parentheses, this is what it will enter if you just hit the enter key. So we're just gonna leave these all typical. All right, so now we also have the Vue build, and the one that it's defaulted on is the runtime plus compiler, which is recommended for most users. You can use your keyboard's up and down arrow keys to toggle on between these. We're just going to use the one that is recommended for most users. Now, do we want to install the Vue router? We're going to hit Y for yes, simply because we do intend on having a FAQ page, which we already designed earlier in the course in Adobe XD. All right, do we want to use ESLint to lint your code? We don't want linting. We don't want any type of testing. So I'm going to hit N for the next 3 questions. All right, and there we go. So after that, all we have to do is cd into our new project folder. All right, and we run npm install, as the CLI simply generates our package.json based on our information up here. Then we have to run npm install. And this is unlike, for instance, the Angular command line interface where it runs npm install for you automatically. All right, so it is finished. And at that point, your project is ready to go. And we can run another command to actually make the project show up live in the browser. And it will automatically rebuild and reload the browser upon certain file changes while you develop your app. So the command to run is npm run dev, which I will have ran as we develop this project so that we could see it in the browser based on the changes. So it just loaded up. It automatically launches whatever your default browser is. I'll drag it over here real quickly. And this is our basic Vue project right here. Awesome. So in the next section, we're going to go ahead and get started and actually begin developing our app based on the mockup that we produced earlier in the course here in Adobe XD.